So guys, there's a shitload of changes on Upwork at the moment, especially with like the new Connect scheme. And look, if you run an agency and you're like getting clients through Upwork, this is like a fucking must video. You have to understand the technicalities that are at play, the maths that are at play, why Upwork is doing this, and just in general why I think this is the best time to be doing SMMA on Upwork ever.
Look, I'm gonna tell you about my life.
Hey guys, what's going on? Hope you're doing well. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. And this is like a super important video for the people that run agencies, are in the SMMA space and are trying to get clients through Upwork essentially, because they basically made a lot of changes recently with the Connect scheme. If you don't know what the Connect scheme is, I'll explain in a second, but a lot of changes are happening to Upwork right now. They're going to get rid of the skills section, they're getting rid of lots of different things, they're switching up the way that clients create jobs, create projects. So there's lots of things to go over, and it's good because it gives me lots of material to talk to you guys about and to bring to your attention as to how to get clients and how to use these things to your advantage, for example. But look, I'm going to make this like super fucking easy to follow. I asked all of my mentorship students essentially to send in any questions that they had about the new Connect scheme, and I have like all the questions here. So we're gonna go through those. We're gonna go step by step, easy peasy. I want this to be the only video you have to watch about Connects because it's all fucking confusing, and the way that they've done it on Upwork, if I'm just being completely honest, it's so vague, and like it took me fucking ages to figure all of this shit out, and it only happened like a couple weeks ago that the change was made. So yeah, let's jump straight in. Okay guys, let's jump in. So what is a Connect? A Connect, very simple on Upwork, is basically Upwork's currency. It's the easiest way to describe it. And you know, if you're a client on Upwork, you make a project and you're like, I need help with social media, for example, for my business, right? Then you as a freelancer, to get in touch with them, to talk to them, to potentially close them, you need to send them a proposal first, right? Those proposals, each proposal that you send costs Connects. Now it used to be that each proposal that you sent, each time you wanted to potentially apply to work with a client, used to cost you 2 Connects. But now it's 1 to 6, depending on the size. But we'll get into all of that in a second. I'm gonna break it down for you, super easy to understand. So you're not gonna have to watch some other fucking bullshit videos about it. Very simple. You understand what a Connect is, Upwork currency. You wanna speak to a client, you have to send a proposal. That costs a certain amount of Connects. Now you do get 60 Connects for free every month, and if you're on a premium membership you get 70, and yeah, so you don't really have to pay for any of them anyway. But let's get into why they're making this change, because it's like funny, because like people have been asking me a lot on Instagram, like, wow, is this good, is it bad? And it's like, I think it's more important to understand like why they're doing it, because then you can kind of get like a feel as to the marketplace, and then also like how you can use this to your advantage, for example. So why are they making this change? So statistically speaking, most freelancers spend about $5 a month on Connects, which isn't a lot, I spend like £600 a month on Connects, easily, maybe more, I don't fucking know, because it's all outsourced and so on. But essentially, people aren't really buying Connects. It's like something that Upwork's had an issue with, and because they were giving away, because it was only 2 Connects to apply and you're getting 60 for free, in theory, you can apply to 30 jobs, right? Every month completely for free. So what you'll find is, a lot of these projects will have like a shitload of people apply for them. And lots and lots of clients have spoken to me about this, but a lot of clients have complained to Upwork essentially and have been like, look, I'm struggling to find like the right fit, because I'm having, in the SMMA space, for example, sometimes you'll see jobs that are have over 50 plus people apply to it. If you're a busy business owner, which is basically what Upwork is full of, you're scrolling through, you don't have time to book a meeting with all these fucking people, and you don't know how many of them are full of shit, and really, in reality, it's too easy for people to get in touch with you with the old model of doing it. Okay, so they've basically changed it, and in theory, why they've changed it to 1 to 6, which we'll get into in a second. But the reason that they've changed it is because they want less proposals to be sent to potential clients, which means that the clients will see less, potential people to work with, which will give them like a little bit more leeway, and you can kind of talk to each individual freelancer. Instead of having 50 plus people, maybe 10 people apply, it's just going to shorten the time it takes to actually get hired on Upwork, which means that Upwork makes more money, which means the freelancers make more money, which means the clients obviously get what they want. So it's all for a good cause. Okay guys, so now we know what a Connect is, and why they made the change. Okay, so what did like the old plan used to be? So every time that you wanted to send a proposal, it would cost you 2 connects. Okay, each connect used to cost $1. So in theory, every time you sent a proposal, it would cost you $2, right? Whereas right now what they've done is they've changed it to 15 cents a connect, but each job could be 1 to 6 connects to apply. I'm going to say that again. So the old model used to, which isn't relevant anymore, but I'm just letting you know because some people asked about it. The old model used to be every proposal that you sent would cost you $2, as in 2 connects. Very simple. Whereas right now it's 15 cents, 15p basically, you know, if you're in the UK for example, but most of my audience is fucking American anyway, but it's 15 cents and each project can be 1 to 6 connects to send that proposal. Does that make sense? Now, that means in theory that if it is 6 connects, you know, let's say it's a big project or whatever, it's 6 connects, you know, it's still only about 90p a proposal, which is half, more than half of the price that it used to be. So, like I said, never been a better time. Now, let's get into like how they structure it. So, it's kind of weird. To be honest, it's taken me a lot of time to figure this out, and even because it's so new to Upwork, I think it's very vague, you know, and it is very vague. And I've spoken to Upwork people on the phone about it. I fucking spoke to fucking product research manager. I've spoken to everyone. It's very vague. So, how is it like structured? So, in theory, it's structured by 3 different things. It's structured by the size of the project, as in the budget of the project, the duration, so how long the project's going to take, and then also the marketplace demand. So, you know, whether or not, you know, it's saturated in that particular niche, which it isn't. And don't even get me started on the concept that fucking people think that Upwork is oversaturated, because it isn't. There's like a fucking 200 jobs out of there every single day, you know, whatever. If you want to know more about that, you can go and watch a fucking other video about it. But that's the way that it's structured. But you're going to find that the majority of the ones in the SMMA space, at least, so the social media management agency world, if you're not familiar, are from 4 to 6 connects. And it's kind of fucked. It's kind of fucked up, really, because you guys know I always talk about the DNA of Upwork. And what is the DNA of Upwork? I'm like, it's like as if I'm having an actual conversation, like waiting for your answer. But, you know, what is like the DNA of Upwork? The DNA of Upwork is that the clients don't know what the fuck is going on. So, you know, originally, especially when I teach the mentorship program, I'll be like, this doesn't matter. This doesn't matter, this doesn't matter, because the clients don't know what the fuck's going on when they're creating the projects, and Upwork doesn't do a very good job of giving them a lot of leeway and help with that. You know, the best example I can give is it's, you know, there's entry-level jobs, entry-level projects, intermediate-level projects, and expert-level projects. And Upwork is, it's not like entry-level and then a long reason, pros, cons, you know, why you should pick that. It's like entry-level, intermediate, expert, and then the client, potential client, is like, I don't know what the fuck this means, so they'll just press any of them, and that fucks with the amount of connects that you need to apply. Now I might be like, oh, that's fucking bullshit. At the end of the day, like I said before, it's only 90 cents maximum per proposal, so no matter what happens, it will always be more than half the price that it used to be. So there's never been a better time to be on Upwork, like ever. Never been a better time. I mean, literally, if you assume that I'm spending £600 a month on connects, you can just assume that now it's half that, you know? Just because they've changed the pricing of it. So that's something to keep in mind as well. Yo, dude, I'm in the middle of a fucking video, man. Can I call you back? Is that cool? I'm just fucking looking after the community. Sorry, I gotta go. But yeah, what are we talking about? Okay guys, so to make this even easier as well, what I'll do is I'll literally give you like the exact like press release that they released to explain how they price the connects. It's super vague, and you know, this is actually from like the head of product and design at Upwork. I think his name's Hayden, is that right? Hayden Browns, which is a girl. But yeah, let me explain. So this is exactly what they say. We calculate the number of connects needed based on the project value, determining using duration, budget amount, as well as the marketplace demand. A longer term job with a higher budget will require more connects than a small project, like I said. For example, we currently estimate the following. Quick jobs, size under 2 days, under $50, only 1 to 2 connects to apply to those ones. That is not relevant for anyone in the SMMA space, obviously. Short-term jobs or projects. Size, less than a week, $50 to $599. 3 to 4 connects will be needed to apply to those ones. That could be relevant, you know, 599, management, etc., etc. Longer term jobs, over a week, $600 and up, 5 to 6 connects per thing. Now, you might be like, oh, well, that's really cool. Let me read this last bit as well. For example, I'll take fewer connects to submit a proposal for a job with a $40 budget that is expected to last 1 day than it will for a bigger project where you can earn $1,000 or more. That's pretty self-fucking-explanatory. However, it's complete horseshit because half of the jobs on Upwork, they're hourly. The majority of them are hourly, and it doesn't even some of them are like random. Like some of them are like really small projects and there's 6 connects. Some of them are really small and they're like 2 connects. It's fucking weird. But the majority are around 4 to 6 connects. So that's word for word from Upwork, the exact strategy as to how they've priced it. Whether or not that's how it actually runs out, who fucking knows? I've not noticed it. It seems to be very sporadic as of right now, most likely because they're testing it. But that's something to keep in mind. And now you know from the horse's motherfucking mouth. So, how are they sold? How are the connects sold? Because before, you basically used to be able to buy like one, I think it was like 1, and then like 5, and then 10, and then 20, and then 30, and 40, and 50. You used to just be able to buy them in like you know, like a package essentially. And they've done the same thing here as well. So specifically, obviously connects cost like 15 cents a connect, but you buy them in like packs of like bundles. So it's 10 for $1.50, 20 connects for $3, 40 connects for $6, 60 connects for $9, and 80 connects for $12. That's the exact breakdown. So what's the maximum amount of connects that you can have at one time? Okay, so basically as a freelancer, you know, it's different if you're an agency on Upwork. And by the way, I'm talking for the SMMA space here. When I say that I'm a freelancer, I really mean I'm an agency. It's just that for the purposes of being on Upwork, you have to label yourself as a freelancer, okay? But let's be honest, half the fucking people in the SMMA space are basically freelancers because they do all the work themselves. They don't have a team. So it's like, you're basically just a glorified freelancer anyway. But guys, I've been saying this for fucking ages. Who gives a fuck about the title of what you do? I don't give a fuck about whether or not people think I'm an agency owner. I tell people that I'm a freelancer. You know, like, whatever, you know, whatever makes the fucking, you know, whatever puts the fucking bread on the table. But essentially, the max you can hold at any one time is 350 connects. And then every month you can have a rollover amount of 140. So what I mean by that is, if you have 150 connects, you know, in a month, for example, and then the next, you don't use any of them for some reason, the next month only 140 will roll over. Does that make sense? So only 140 of the connects will roll over every single month. Very simple, okay? And then obviously once you get to 350, you can't have any more than that. Okay guys, so let's clear up a couple last things as well. So do connects ever expire? Very simple, yes, they do expire after a year of the purchasing date. Very simple. Do I have to spend connects when I'm invited to a job? So no, basically there's 2 scenarios here. So there's invitations that you get. Well, they're both invitations, but there's invitations from actual clients, and then there's invitations from Upwork's talent specialists. This isn't something that's just for people who are top rated on Upwork, and if you don't know what that is, you can watch my other videos. But the point I'm trying to make is, basically, if a client invites you to a job, you don't have to use connects to apply to that. So they'll invite you, and then you can send a proposal to them completely for free. On top of that, there's also like Upwork specialists that will invite you to jobs, and essentially you don't have to pay for those either. You may have received it once where it's like, it's not even from a client, it's from Upwork's, you know, talent specialist fucking group or whatever, but you don't have to pay for those either. And what was the last question that you guys had? Can connects be refunded or sent back? So yes, very simple. If a client doesn't, well, two scenarios actually. If a client goes against the terms and conditions and terms of service of Upwork, they'll just fucking give you connects back. So they'll delete the job and then they'll give you the connects back because obviously the client was being dodgy as fuck. And then the other scenario is if the client really can't find someone to hire and they close the job without hiring anyone on Upwork itself, you know, because you can assume that a lot of people go outside of Upwork and go on PayPal and stuff like that. But if they don't go through Upwork and they close the job, then those will be refunded. This is why, if you ever were to get a hold of my phone in the morning, so like You know, it's on airplane mode, but like essentially, if you looked at my phone, like in the morning, you'll just see like bare messages from Upwork, like project, you know, has been closed, project has been closed, project has been closed, project has been closed, you know, refunded, and basically they'll give you those connects back, and a lot of the time, it's just from like a backlog of like, let's say for example, like 3 months ago, I applied to a job and they never got back to me. Upwork will eventually close that job and then you'll just be refunded back. So I'm constantly getting more connects back from the ones that I didn't get. And then also I'm applying for other ones as well. Does that make sense? But you'll get a shitload of emails like that. And it's fucking annoying because every day I have to be like, which is fucking stupid. But let's see. Is there any other questions that you guys sent over? I don't think so, no. I mean, it's very vague. You know, they've made, I think they've made it a bit difficult to understand, but I hope that this makes it very simple. So to recap, very simple. No matter what happens, every proposal at a maximum will be 90 cents essentially, instead of $2, which is what it used to be. So there's never been a better time to be on Upwork, ever. You know, this is literally more than half of what it used to be, you know? And yes, I know we have to pay for the connects, but at the end of the fucking day, that's what separates the fucking C players and the A players like me. You have to put money in. This is a business. To get your first client, you don't need to. I've literally been teaching the mentorship program where I deliberately tell students, do not buy connects in the beginning because I want you to get a client without it, so you know you don't have to. I didn't spend any money on connects to get my first couple clients. You don't either. I'm just saying that as you scale as a business owner, especially if you want to go past that 10K a month mark, there's fucking literally no way that you're going to be able to do it. And you might be like, oh, what if, you know, fucking, you know, what if like the projects, like what if I send out like 100, you know, proposals and I don't get a single message back? I will literally guarantee you there's fucking absolutely no way that you'll send out 100 proposals. There's no way you'll send out like 50 proposals and not get a message back. At the end of the day, the clients are already over those 2 commandments. They're already, you know, over the hurdle of convincing them this is something that they need. They're the ones that put the fucking job out. They're also over the commandment of convincing them that you're the person for the job, because your profile speaks for itself. And if you follow the things that we talk about in this, or if you're in the mentorship program, for example, you know, mentorship program, you'll know that the techniques and strategies that I say that will make your account look great, and that's why people will work with you. So they already want to fucking work with you. You know, you're not the one. You shouldn't be in this scarcity mindset. You know, Upwork is fucking full of potential clients. Like literally minimum since August the 6th, 2018 till today, there has been over 150 jobs added every single day. I've been tracking it. I can show you, I can prove it. It's been happening, except for Saturdays and Sundays where it's a little bit less, like somewhere around like the 90 to 98, you know, projects every day. But the point I'm trying to fucking make is there's fucking always new clients on there, and people are like, oh, Upwork's going, you know, like what if Upwork goes away? It's not going to go away. It says you're not going to go away. They just traded it on the fucking stock market for like a gazillion pound. It's a public company. It's not going anywhere. You know, it literally is fucking massive. It's not going anywhere. But yeah, guys, I hope that like you know, answers all of your questions about like the connects and how that works. I'm gonna make a different video about how they're getting rid of the skills section soon. And you know, if you guys have any video suggestions, let me know. I'm very tempted to make a course about Upwork. I can't even tell you how many people have messaged me about it. I'd love to know your opinion on it, guys, because look, at the end of the day, like if I'm just gonna be completely honest, like I'm a normal fucking guy, and all of this is you know, been very crazy for me, you know, the success, you know, the community, you know, the results that I'm bringing with my students. I mean, it's great, but you know, I'm just a normal guy, and you know, I need direction as well. So if you guys would prefer a course instead of spending, you know, £1,000 to speak to me on the phone, you know, would that be something that you're interested in? Let me know. But yeah, love you guys so much. Back on that YouTube ting, dab 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 dab, and peace, motherfuckers.
DJ